Tyler. Now is my time. Now is my time.
Going right back, gonna flip it up. He's got a back flip.
Now is the place.
Oh my goodness!
Right on my tail.
Tyler Menega comes up.
And he's gonna land it.
The time is right. Now is the time and we here to fight. I came here to ride or to die, to be right on the top of this mountain until the
Monster Jam fans have taken over the racing capital of the world as they flock to downtown Indianapolis for round 18 with Stadium Championship Series West. Hello everyone, welcome to Monster Jam Primetime. I'm Scott Jordan alongside my broadcast partner Adam Entignap. Zombies Barry Musauer is flying high after back-to-back event championship wins in Orlando and Jacksonville. He now has a comfortable lead in the series point standings. Adam Barry has never been in a position like this where he is this far ahead at this point in the season. He's building this lead. He's been having a great season so far, but does he need to change his strategy at all to hang on to it, or is he good to go?
No, right now, Barry Musauer is good to go. He just needs to keep this momentum going. He is red hot right now, and Barry Musauer is getting the points that he needs to win this championship. For Barry Musauer, the last thing he needs to do is get the pedal off the metal and try to back off and be safe. That's when you lose those points and make mistakes. So for Barry Musauer, keep doing the same thing and be aggressive.
Well, he's got the lead because disaster struck in Jacksonville for Tyler Menega as Gravedigger exited racing in round 2. Didn't compete for the rest of the night, earning only 5 points. If you're Tyler Menega, how do you overcome all of these issues that have plagued him all season long to have a chance to win the championship?
Well, one of the first things you have to do is get over the frustration of having to deal with something that's out of your control. Once you get over that, then you rely on your crew chief, Matt Gong. He does a fantastic job. He will figure it out. You know, in Monster Jam, you have these problems. You have issues with the truck, but you fix it and move on.
You mentioned crew chief Matt Gong. He's been working hard all season long to try and get this truck dialed in, and he's with Leslie Mears right now in this Northern Tool and Equipment pit report.
So Matt Gong has had his hands full this season, guys, with Gravedigger. I know this was new for you guys. It should have been easy to break in, but it's been anything short of that. Talk us through what all you've had to work on.
You know how it goes. Every time you debut a new truck, there's always gremlins to fight. You always have a few electrical problems you have to find, a few mechanical problems that you have to find. This year we've just been struggling. It just doesn't seem like we can get the truck to steer quite right. Throughout the whole season, we went off through that tear of winning 7 straight races at the start of the year and everything like that. And then we had that one steer line come loose and burn up a pump. And since then, it's just been seeming like front steer, rear steer, it doesn't matter. Just can't seem to quite get it to work properly. I'm always trying to be as most confident as I can be with him, work that I do and everything that all the guys around me. We have some of the greatest UNOH technicians that really put in all the effort in behind the scenes. We work all together as a team. It just seems like that side of it, the truck's been working and doing its kind of thing, but we just can't link everything together in a full event. It seems like we'll be good in racing, and then our freestyle will kind of falter. Our freestyle will be good, and then our racing will kind of falter. It's just putting together that whole package this year just seems to be a bit of a struggle.
Here's tonight's driver lineup for Stadium Championship Series East. Some notable: Cynthia Gauthier leads Lucas Stabilizer to the home of Lucas Oil. Jim Kohler makes his record 17th Indianapolis start. And staying with Tyler Menega, Adam, 4 starts here for overall event wins.
Yeah, Tyler Menega is unbelievable in this stadium. Right now, he just needs to lean on Matt Gong and hope that he doesn't have any mechanical issues.
Be tough to beat Gravedigger on this track with some great drivers. Barry Musauer, Cole Stevens, Dalton Weiner in this as well. Let's take a look at the current season point standings on this series. Barry has taken the lead. He's got a 26-point lead over Team Gravedigger. Classroom Crusher in 3rd, Jurassic Attack in 4th. Now Toro Loco currently in 5th place in the Stadium East point standings. Drivers will compete tonight in 3 competitions: JCB Racing, the Skills Challenge, and Freestyle. Points awarded based on finish, with 12 going to the winner of each competition. And the driver with the most points at the end of the event is crowned overall event champion. Let's get the track talk. The dirt here in Indy notoriously slick, which always offers for some fast racing. Adam, how would you navigate it to win?
Yeah, well, one of the big things in my experience here is they bring in the dirt when it's frozen, it unthaws, and then it gets really soft. But tonight, it looks to be a lot more dry and, like you said, a little bit more on the slick side. So you have to have that throttle control. In freestyle, you've got to watch these lips for ruts and make sure you're lined up perfectly with them.
First competition of the night, JCB Racing. Here's your bracket. Toro Loco, Thunder Roars, Mayhem, Classroom Crusher have the first round buys. Barry Musauer, Tyler Menega both competing in round 1. Barry on a 7-race winning streak. Tyler 8-1 in his career on this track. They will both be tough to beat in round 1. Now let's get down to the track for the first round one race of the night as we kick off JCB Racing. Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer pull into the track, going up against Joe Foley in X as we await the first green light here in Lucas Oil Stadium. And we are off and running off the chalk line. Cynthia Gauthier gets into the berm first, and she's got a slight lead on Joe Foley coming into that far side turn of the gray lane.
Joe Foley slipping and sliding all over the place. Cynthia looks like she's getting some traction.
Into that straightaway, Lucas Stabilizer hits the corner first, trying to finish off Joe Foley. Going to be a great finish here. Cynthia Gauthier stays low. Lucas Stabilizer gets the win. Here's the original Super Glue. Glue to the action replay.
Looks like Cynthia just has a bit more traction and a better truck setup here tonight. Cynthia coming into this last turn, making it on a dime and coming away with a big win.
So Cynthia Gauthier advancing into round two with JCB Racing as we continue on the round one matchups. Dalton Weiner, Jurassic Attack out of Knoxville, Tennessee, going up against the legend Jim Kohler, Avenger. And here we go, second race of round one, JCB Racing. Dalton Weiner so fast, one of the best racers in the sport, the 2023 Arena Racer of the Year, trying to get it done here in Lucas Stadium. And Jim Kohler clips that pod at him tough out of the gate.
Yeah, it looks like Jim Kohler just slides a little bit coming out of that second turn.
Dalton Weiner, big air. Dalton Weiner, big time win. And Dalton Weiner, Jurassic Attack advancing. Original Super Glue, glue to the action replay.
Yeah, we can watch Jim Kohler. He's in that blue lane. It looks to be a lot more slick on that side. Definitely going to be difficult for those drivers on that lane.
2 races down, 2 more to go. Barney Masauer Zombie again with that 7-race winning streak up against Kevin Crocker in Megalodon. Barney 28-11 on the year. And here we go into the berm court on the gray side. Zombie comes out. Megalodon with the lead.
Looks like Kevin Crocker grabs the end of that pod, though, with his left front wheel. Goes wide in the second turn.
Barney stayed tight and narrow. He's got the lead of that straightaway. Final corner for Zombie. Stopping on a dime around that turn. Barney Masauer with a perfect race pass. Moving on. Check out the original Super Glue. Glue to the action replay.
Looks like Kevin Crocker in that blue lane. It's going to be very difficult to get a win. You can see his left front and left rear tire grabbing that pod and then pushes wide in the second corner.
One more race to go here in our round one JCB Racing matchup. It's going to be Tyler Mediger, Gravedigger, Mike Christensen, Vendetta with more on this race. Let's check in with Leslie Mears.
Another update on Gravedigger, another rear steer issue for the team. Let's hope they got it fixed.
Thank you, Leslie. So far, so good. Gray side, Gravedigger does come up a little tight, hits that step-up ramp.
Yeah, definitely very close around that pod, but making up the time. Mike Christensen's going to have to do something special.
Great corner there for Gravedigger. Final push. What a close race that was. Vendetta made it interesting, but Tyler Mediger gets the win. Here's the original Super Glue. Glue to the action replay.
Watch Gravedigger coming into the last corner. You can see how wide he's entering. He's going to try to apex that corner just a little early, come out on the inside and grab all that traction.
Moving into round two with JCB Racing. Here's your bracket. El Toro Loco, Lucas Stabilizer, Thunder Roars, Gravedigger, Mayhem, Jurassic Attack, Classroom Crusher, Zombie. Fastest round one time, Tyler Mediger, 19.868. One round down in Indy. 3 more to go. Round two with JCB Racing begins next on Primetime. Monster Jam is brought to you by JCB, the official heavy equipment partner of Monster Jam. And speaking of JCB, we are back with more JCB Racing at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. First up, it'll be El Toro Loco against Lucas Stabilizer, Armando Castro versus Cynthia Gauthier with more on lane choice. Let's check back in with Leslie.
Armando told me that he's more comfortable in the right lane, but practice in the left lane because he's trying to make sure that he's got an even feel for the track. He said it felt so good he was going to choose it for his lane choice here in this round.
Well, it may not be paying off in a big way here. Cynthia Gauthier right there with him. She is on the blue side. Final turn. Look how close Armando came to that pod. And Cynthia Gauthier makes Armando Castro pay for that lane choice. She's moving on. Take a look at the original Super Glue. Glue to the action replay.
Cynthia Gauthier going to come away with this one by just a nose there on the BKT. Wow, she is on fire in her home stadium.
Chris Kohler, Mayhem, up next against Dalton Weiner at Jurassic Attack. Dalton 20-11 on the season with 3 wins, making his first start in Indianapolis. Out of the berm we go to Jurassic Attack, heading into that blue side corner first.
Looks like Chris Kohler doesn't quite get the traction coming out of turn 1 or turn 2.
Chris struggled to get out of that turn into that straightaway. Dalton Weiner has the lead. Dalton Weiner going to pick up the win as Chris Kohler cannot get out of his own way in that race lane.
Yeah, definitely a difficult ride for Chris Kohler. Let's take a look at the replay here. He comes into the corner. I don't think he realized how slick it was here in Indianapolis. Gets on the throttle, spins out just a little bit. Dalton Weiner coming away with a big round 2 win.
So Jurassic Attack advances onto the semifinal round. Camden Murphy, Classroom Crusher. He is going up against the advancing Barry Musauer in Zombie Camp, the 19-12 on the season with 1 racing win. And here we go. Great matchup. Barry has been dominant against Camden so far this season. And now both of a very even going into that turn.
Barry Musauer comes out of turn 1 very tight, stays nice and smooth in turn 2.
Still close here in the final corner. Camden Murphy clips the pile with the front wheel. Barry Musauer going to try to pull this one off. And what a finish. We're going to go to the original super glue, glued to the action replay.
Camden Murphy with a perfect last corner, and it looks like he's going to come away with a win in round 2 over Barry Musauer.
So the streak stops at 8 races for Barry Musauer. Camden Murphy moving on. Colt Stevens Thunderoros with the dubious task of having to meet Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger. And here we go off the starting line into that berm. Thunderoros in the gray lane. Gravedigger in the blue lane does clip the side of that ramp, but Tyler Menninga trying to hang on, and Colt Stevens is going over in the far corner, and Tyler Menninga will advance. But they are not going to let him finish this race. He is not going to get lane choice, but Gravedigger moves on. Here's the original super glue glued to the action replay.
That is going to make it slightly more difficult, but it looks like some of the ruts here in Indianapolis. No, he grabs the pod with that right front wheel and tips over. So unfortunate for Colt. Had a great race going.
Yeah, Tyler Menninga, they're not going to be able to finish that race here.
You can see Tyler Menninga going to have to come to a stop. Definitely crucial to get that lane choice right now, Scott.
We're going to check out the semifinal bracket for JCB Racing. Lucas Stabilizer getting lane choice over Gravedigger. Jurassic Attack getting lane choice over Classroom Crusher with a time of 19.746. We're down to the fastest 4 in Indianapolis. Who gets crowned our racing winner? Find out next on Primetime. Monster Jam is brought to you by the Utah Sports Commission. Utah, the state of sports. Of course, Salt Lake City, Utah is the home of Monster Jam World Finals 24. Tonight's home for round 18 of Primetime is Indianapolis, Indiana, Lucas Oil Stadium. We've reached the JCB Racing semifinals. This is a good one. Camden Murphy, Classroom Crusher against Dalton Widener in Jurassic Attack. Dalton Widener, the fastest time last round, getting lane choice. He is in the blue lane. Camden Murphy in the gray lane. And right now it is Dalton Widener with the lead into that corner.
It seemed like the gray lane started out really good, and now the blue lane has been dominant. Dalton Widener with a little bit of a lead, but Camden Murphy's going to make this good.
Camden's caught up, and he got on that turn tight, and Camden Murphy going to get the win. 19.339, Classroom Crusher. Moving on.
Camden Murphy on absolute fire right now. You can see he gets into that fluff on the outside, finds the traction, perfect last turn. Camden Murphy coming away with another win.
So Camden will advance to the JCB Racing Finals. Up next, it is going to be Gravediggers, Tyler Menninga, Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer. Cynthia has lane choice. With more, we go to Leslie.
Cynthia's super comfy in that right lane, and that's why she chose it. And oh, by the way, guys, her fastest time of the night came over there.
Thank you, Leslie. Right now, she's putting on a good turn here, a good pass. Tyler Menninga, though, on the far side gray lane, has the lead.
Looks like she hit the throttle coming out of turn 2 a little too much, but Tyler makes a big mistake.
Oh, Gravedigger almost went over. He made the save, but he gets the loss, a 5-second penalty for Tyler Menninga.
Let's take a look at what happened to Tyler. He comes around this corner. It looks like maybe that rear steer might be having more issues. He overturns the truck, grabs the throttle, and doesn't hit the finish line.
Could not set it right. Cynthia Gauthier advances. She is taking on Camden Murphy in Classroom Crusher. Camden gets lane choice last round, had a time of 19.339, which is the fastest time of the night. So Cynthia Gauthier with her work cut out for her, but she is staying in that lane. She's comfortable, and that can be a mistake by Camden Murphy.
Cynthia in the comfortable lane. She grabs the left pod with her left front wheel there. Let's see what she can do. Camden Murphy with a perfect turn.
Runs over a little bit of that ramp on the far side. Here we go to the final corner. Cynthia Gauthier looking strong right now, looking fast for the finish. And Camden Murphy slides all the way off the track. Cynthia Gauthier is going to get the win in Indianapolis.
Wow, what an amazing win for Cynthia. Let's see what happened to Camden. He comes around the corner, gets on the throttle just a little hard. Very similar to what happened to Tyler. Goes off the finish line. That's a 5-second penalty. Wow, what a win for Cynthia in Lucas Oil Stadium.
For Cynthia Gauthier, the celebration is continuing down on the track. It's her first career stadium racing win at the home of Lucas Oil. She is standing by with Leslie Mears.
So, Cynthia, I really think that Camden thought he was punishing you by keeping you in the right lane, but that was money for you all night long. You had the number over there.
I had so much fun. You know, it's a teamwork. Wyatt was in my ear telling me what he thought, what he think, and my time. So we took decision on what the lane was, but, you know, I was throwing that lane, and it worked out for me.
How satisfying is it, though, to get this first racing victory? I know you've been practicing extra, you've been struggling, and you did it.
Yes, I did it. And you know what? You helped me. She gave me a little pep talk before the show. Give me the confidence. You know, it's a mom power. And you know what? I've been getting better and better. I never give up. And you know what? I just beat the professor.
Leslie down there giving some pep talks before the racing championship. Worked in big ways for Cynthia Gauthier. She gets 12 points. Classroom Crusher with 11, Jurassic Attack with 10, Gravedigger with 9, and Zombie with 8, rounding out our current top 5 after 1. Next up in Indy was a Monster Jam Skills Challenge, where drivers could attempt 2 technical maneuvers on 2 wheels so they could do a donut. Each driver was scored equally by an expert judge and fans in creativity, skill, and execution. And with 12 points on the line, we are going to take a look at our top 5 competitors. Coming in 5th, Dalton Wider, Jurassic Attack with Nose Wheelie.
Dalton Wider getting the popper off of that tabletop. He's going to walk this thing out in a nose wheelie. See if he, there it is, the front steering wheel. He's going to throw it out the window. That's become his signature move. See if he can get the combination into the wheelie, sets it on the wheelie bar. Great job from Dalton Widener.
Multiple combinations there. Mike Christensen Vendetta comes off with a nose wheelie as well.
Very similar move. Going to balance that 12,000-pound truck. See if he can get a little combination there as well.
Lauren Musauer Zombie with a good old-fashioned zombie donuts.
Yeah, definitely a good place to do it. You can see how much dirt is flinging off those BKT tires. Great rotation so far for Barr. You can see how deep those tires are digging into the stadium. He's practically making a hole on that side. So much action for these Indianapolis fans.
Just continuing to go round and round and round, finally stopping there with Zombie. Tyler Medica, Gravedigger taking 2nd with a bicycle.
Yeah, definitely great option here with this tacky dirt on the floor. Find some fresh stuff. Can't quite get the combination.
And then Armando Castro, El Toro Loco off the tabletop, 9.175 gets it done.
Yeah, definitely a popular obstacle to get that popper. Gets into the nose wheelie, but you can see the balance and precision from Armando Castro here. He's gonna have to walk it back down. Loses balance just a little bit, but so much precision and talent on display. And then he gets the combination move, throws it in the wheelie down the lip.
Armando Castro gets 12 points with the win as we check out our current BKT point standings after 2. Gravedigger with 20 up top. El Toro Loco is 2nd. Zombie, Jurassic Attack, Classroom Crusher each in 3rd, 2 points off. And Lucas Stabilizer in 6th, 3 points off the pace. For Armando, it's his series-leading 7 skills win of the season. He is celebrating down on the track with our Leslie Mears. Let's hear from our winner.
So this crowd is just crazy, and it was electric during skills, especially for you, Armando. How much more does that push you when you're in the truck and you can hear them really get up?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's 100% fact. You know, right there, hitting the crowd, get on your behind, you know, support you and get behind your back. That's very motivating to me. You know, coming out here, I want to bring the best A game that I possibly can. And I was talking to my crew chief Dan. I said, man, we go number 5. We're pretty early. Hopefully, the trucks before me kind of like fall on their face, and that's exactly what happened. So it set us up perfect. Going out number 5, we set the bar high for the rest of the competition. And yeah, we had 2 awesome 2-wheel skill stuff. We even got 1 combo action going on, and yeah, fans love to hear it. Indy. It's my first time here, so I'll take the win. We came out swinging last week in Jacksonville. We're going to crank up the heat here in Indy, and hopefully get the freestyle win here today.
We have a battle brewing in Indy for the event championship with 1 competition left. Freestyle is next on Primetime. Monster Jam is proud to partner with and support St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Visit monsterjam.com/St. Jude to learn how you can join us in the fight against childhood cancer. We are back at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis with round 18 for Stadium Championship Series. Ethan, Adam, and I are back in the studio with more Primetime. What a night it's been so far at Lucas Oil Stadium. 3 points separates the top 6 drivers. Adam, this has been a hotly contested battle, maybe the most hotly contested all season long. Is that a testament to the talent on this series?
Yeah, I definitely think it is a testament, but it's also a testament to the drivers getting comfortable. Right now, Tyler Menninga, Armando Castro, Camden Murphy, Bari Musauer, so many of these drivers, Dalton Widener, are doing so well. But the highlight of the night, right, has to be Cynthia. Fantastic drive so far.
Yeah, Cynthia Gauthier picked up her first career stadium racing win and at the home of Lucas Oil. How big of a moment was that for Cynthia in her career?
Well, I think it's got to be the biggest moment. She's in Lucas Oil Stadium, the home of racing, and on top of that, all the Lucas Oil sponsorship and contingent are here. So to do it in front of that crowd is absolutely amazing. You've got to love that. Cynthia on cloud 9 right now.
And she has a shot at the overall event championship as we catch up on the current BKT point standings. Tyler Menninga 20, El Toro Loco 1 point behind, Zombie Jurassic Tech Classroom Crusher 2 points back, and Lucas Stabilizer 3 points off the lead. Here's your freestyle running order for tonight. Of those 6 drivers at the top, Adam, who's in the best spot here?
It's got to be Tyler Menninga in that #1 spot. He has a chance to set the bar, give the crowd a wow moment, and maybe even a backflip.
Well, he is the current overall event leader. He's going to kick off the final competition of the night. Let's go back to the track at Lucas Oil Stadium out of Oskaloosa, Iowa. It's Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger. We heard from crew chief Matt Gahn at the top of the show on those issues plaguing the truck. We've heard from Tyler as well. Both very frustrated before this run. We need to get another update from Leslie Mears.
Guys, Gravedigger has been plagued by damage tonight. You know, we talked about that O-ring earlier, but then it was the rear steer switch, and then they had to change out a tire after racing. When I talked to Tyler about it, he said, you know, it's just really frustrating. He goes, I haven't got to fill my time in freestyle in the last month, and that's just not me. He goes, I don't want to have to worry about the truck. I just want to go out there and have fun. He said, being first out tonight, he goes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to let her rip and have as much fun as I can.
Thank you, Leslie. Tyler Menninga trying to build some momentum. Here's your freestyle criteria. 30 seconds to qualify for a score. You have to get a score. You got to make that 30 seconds. It's very important. And failure to complete that 1 minute run on the clock will result in a 1 point deduction. Tyler Menninga at this point, Adam, can't afford either one of those to happen.
Yeah, he needs every point he can get in this championship. It's very crucial. Not only that, but to turn the momentum around. But Tyler Menninga going off in this freestyle, he definitely has the momentum going in so far. Like I just talked about, he's doing exactly what he needs to do. And I think he can do that if the truck will just stay together, Scott.
Got 2 freestyle wins on this track. He's earned 128 out of a possible 144 points. So he has been nothing short of dominant in Indianapolis. Now, Tyler, we mentioned the struggles in Jacksonville, only 5 points. It's very rare that a driver nearly misses an entire event and is still in the running for a series championship. But Tyler Menninga, that shows you the kind of driver that he is as he goes for the Morgan to Morgan backflip. Gravedigger with the first backflip of the night. Tyler Menninga is going to land it, and he's not done yet.
Great execution of the backflip so far. He's going to get a 1-2 punch with a nice big air.
Brake check comes down, slap wheelie combo, just avoiding that pod. Then he gets a little bit of a bicycle on the ramp. Here comes Gravedigger back again, now up over the backside of the berm, transfers onto the pod, and now Tyler Menninga going into chaos mode, a one-wheel stoppie into a moonwalk.
Oh yeah, that's what we like to see, a little 2-wheel skills and that chaos from Gravedigger.
What a way to kick off the freestyle competition. Here is the original super glue glued to the action replay for Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger.
Tyler Menninga definitely starting off freestyle right, took the opportunity in his hands and made the most of it. Little under rotation on the backflip, but no big deal. Gets it in reverse, able to get the 1-2 punch. And then right here, we're gonna watch the 2-wheel skills. 1-wheel skill, really. 12,000 pounds on one tire. Tyler Menninga putting on a display and setting the bar very high for the rest of the competition.
That's the type of run that Tyler Menninga needed tonight, and the crowd is showing him a lot of well-deserved love, and they show him love on the score as well. 9.236. That is going to be tough to beat, and we are just getting started. Out next, 2-time World Finals champion, rider for Team Scream, it's Jim Kohler in Avenger. If any driver has experience on this track, on this dirt, it is Jim Kohler. He's been coming here since 2009, making his 17th start in Indianapolis.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest thing with a Monster Jam truck. A lot of people don't know. These guys don't drive during the week. They don't get to practice. The most they get to do is on a simulator. There's no real life actual driving. So for Jim Kohler, he has a huge advantage having all that experience in his career, knowing the dirt, knowing the jumps, knowing just everything about the truck is huge for Jim Kohler.
2 freestyle wins already in 2025 with moves like that. Vertical sky wheelie, brake check off the backside of that tabletop. Brings it back center track off the backside of the blue berm. And now Jim Kohler turning back around. We know how much he loves the 8-pack. He never shies away from it. Again, brake check, hard side slap on the landing.
Right now, he's been doing a fantastic job of getting the truck under control after those big mishap landings. Jim Kohler making it exciting for sure. We're going to need a big wow moment, but this could be a great run.
Continues to chop away here on this track, showing exactly what kind of condition this dirt is in right now and the factor that has become. Brake check again.
Oh, barely
gets the
gets
back
over.
end of that truck onto the berm, is able to catch the save into a nose wheelie.
Yeah, barely gets over that far side. Cases just a little bit, but capitalizes. That's the experience going once again.
Here comes the 8-pack for Avenger. Decimates the ramp. Goes up nearly twice again. Raising the tires once more on that ramp. Check out the original super glue. Glue to the action replay.
This is the wow moment we were looking for. Look at the dirt flinging off the wheelie bar. Great rotation. So hard to execute perfectly on that backflip, but Jim Kohler putting on a show.
Tyler Menega still in the driver's seat for the overall event championship, but will he stay there? Freestyle continues next on Primetime. Welcome back to round 18 of Monster Jam. Today's festivities kicked off earlier at Lucas Oil Stadium in the most family-oriented pit party in motorsports as fans arrive early and meet their favorite drivers and take pictures with the trucks. And if you want to attend the pit party at your next Monster Jam event, get your tickets to monsterjam.com. As I mentioned earlier, Indianapolis is the home of Lucas Oil. We love using Lucas Oil products. They make so many great products that help keep our Monster Jam trucks looking and performing great. But more on this, let's join Cynthia for Shop Talk.
Hi guys, I'm Cynthia Gauthier. Welcome to Shop Talk. This is the show where we take you behind the scenes to meet the best Monster Jam technician and also learn more about the trucks and some of the amazing products that we use to keep those trucks running. How many shocks do you maintenance in a year?
At least 350 plus.
Wow, that's impressive. What is the role of the transmission fluid in a Monster Jam truck?
Not only does it work as a lubricator for the inner workings of the transmission, but it also plays a huge role in cooling it too.
What makes those Monster Jam engines so unique?
Our engines, while built for high horsepower, high RPM, have to perform and have the drivability of a passenger car.
All of us here at Monster Jam actually use Lucas Oil slickness to keep all the Monster Jam trucks nice and shiny. It gives us a little bit more points on the judgeszone.com.
I know I need those extra points.
Now we will see how those products work as here comes Cynthia Gauthier in Lucas Stabilizer. I love the Lucas Oil Slick Mist, Adam. I use it on my car, and I see your hair very shiny tonight. You're using that Slick Mist, aren't you?
Yeah, you gotta love the Slick Mist products. Everything from Lucas Oil is absolutely amazing, but the products aren't what's on display. It's Lucas Stabilizer. Cynthia Gauthier coming off a high in racing. Let's see if she can repeat.
Speaking of that, with her first career stadium racing win, when you come off of such a high, where do you go from there? Do you rest on your laurels and just have fun because you've reached that moment, or do you continue to come out and try to win?
Well, it can definitely plague you a little bit because once you get that win in racing in my career, when I've gotten those wins or those little wins, it just feels like such a sigh of relief, and sometimes you can let your guard down. You have to remember there's still more of the event to go. You want to get these wins. You want to get this freestyle win tonight. Cynthia Gauthier can make a huge moment for Lucas Stabilizer and herself, but she has to attack.
Trails the overall event lead by 3. We saw Tyler Menega with the freestyle lead. He is currently the event leader, so she needs some help if she wants to win the event championship. A lot of pressure here all night long. The name on the truck is the name on the stadium, the name pretty much all over the town, and Cynthia Gauthier has come up in a big way.
Yeah, definitely a lot of pressure, but right now it looks like she's dealing with it well. She has good momentum so far. She's gotten some big air. She's turning the truck well. You can tell she's feeling her truck setup. Everything looks good. Now she just needs to execute on that big wow moment.
9.236 is the score to beat. She may do it here if she lands this backflip. Morgan to Morgan backflip. Lucas Stabilizer comes in off the trench box, gets a push on the back two BKTs. A one-wheel save attempt. and she can't quite hold it, but what a backflip. Here's the original super glue. Go to the action replay.
Oh man, what a tough ending for Cynthia. You can see the rotation on the backflip. Just a tiny bit under rotated, gets a bounce, and you can see her grab that throttle. She thinks the truck's gonna come down and it rolls over. Cynthia Gauthier gonna be a little frustrated, but has to be happy with the night.
Next up, Dalton Wider, Jurassic Attack out of Knoxville, Tennessee, riding with Team Throttle Monster. He is having a phenomenal first year on a stadium series. And with more on Dalton's season here in 2025, let's hear from Leslie Mears.
I caught up with Dalton Wider to kind of ask about the little bit of a gap in points that he lost in Orlando and Jacksonville. And he said, he goes, I was really disappointed that I didn't get to finish my freestyles. He goes, but you just can't get caught up on mechanical breakage. That's not your fault. He goes, you can check the truck, and sometimes when you land, things just happen, and you have to deal with it. He said he's just doing his best to try to fill his time and have fun. Remember, he told me at the beginning of the season, he's not coming in with any expectations but to learn.
And he has done a great job of learning so far this season. Talk about life as an independent driver when you don't have the stadium experience, and every time you show up to a track, it is all brand new for you.
Yeah, that's one of the most difficult things, is figuring out the little nuances of each stadium, the dirt that's going into the stadium, the new floor, how big is it going to be, where are the jumps going to be positioned at. There's so many little things that go on behind the scenes that you don't really think about as a fan, that you have to learn as a driver, and Dalton Widener has been adapting to that very well this season.
Dalton Widener now comes to a slow roll up on the tabletop, looking for some skills moves here. Comes right in with a nose wheelie. Now he's got the rear steer going. Crab walks his way down. 9.236 is the score. When you have a slick track like this, of course, it's the tracks of the BKT tires, Adam, that keeps your truck upright and keeps you doing all these great moves.
Yeah, tonight, definitely the BKTs are playing a big factor, hooking up on this tacky dirt.
We're going to see him in action right here. They're going to hook up on the trench box. Here comes Jurassic Attack, Dalton Wider. Perfect rotation, but the wheel completely off the wagon here on the landing. Check out the original super glue glued to the action replay.
Man, that is so unfortunate. He had such a great freestyle run going underway. You can see the rotation right there, throws on the brakes, but the impact is just going to blow the hub off the rear.
What a run for Jurassic Attack nonetheless. We have reached the halfway point of the competition in Indianapolis. More high-octane Monster Jam freestyle is next on Primetime. Monster Jam is brought to you by Spin Master. Crush it, crash it, jam it. During the break, freestyle continued at Lucas Oil Stadium. Chris Kohler in mayhem. He's going to roll the truck right here with 100 seconds left, and he doesn't get a score.
Yeah, frustrating start, frustrating end.
We continue on with the competition out of Ogden, Utah, representing Team Throttle Monster. This is Mike Christensen in Vendetta. Mike brings Vendetta out to the Lucas Oil Dirt for the first time in his career. He does have a freestyle win in 2025. The truck looks great, but a fascinating thing about Vendetta that Mike told me is this is the same body they have run on the truck the entire season. No matter how many times he's torn the body to shreds, they continue to piece it back together and keep it on Vendetta.
Yeah, and that's just a testament to Mike's whole crew being able to put that thing back together and just being handy with every single part on that truck, but also as well, Mike's driving skill too, not thrashing the body too much, not hammering on it, keeping it in one piece. Mike has been driving so well this whole season, and why not keep a little bit of luck on that truck?
Vendetta now coming towards the blue side of the track, whips it back around, coming again to the gray side on the back side of the berm, starting to build some momentum here as you hear that throttle rhythm beginning to pick up for Mike Christensen. Get over the car stack, just clips the pod a little bit. That didn't look very good on the left side of the truck, but Mike is able to keep his bearings and keep the truck going. And now Mike is making a hard turn back to the center side of this incredible track at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah, right now Mike has a good momentum going and gets a little slap wheelie there. He just needs that big wow moment to be able to get the points that he needs in freestyle. Remember, there is an expert judge that is going to be judging this as well. He has the crescendo effect going right now, but he has to make sure he turns it up towards the end of this freestyle.
Just hitting everything in front of him. Tabletop jump here for Vendetta. Now coming down this long straightaway. Morgan to Morgan backflip attempt now for Mike Christensen. Method to the madness here. Vendetta goes up. Nice greasing of the wheels on the back, too. No moonwalk attempt there. He's not done. He's got a little juice left, trying to be the 9.236.
Get the little 1-2 punch back onto the center pod area. Mike Christensen, the best backflip we have seen in the night so far. Great rotation, great landing. Looks like he's gonna do a donut here to finish off the run.
Keeps that front wheel up. Low center of gravity towards the back. He had the pod, though, was able to clip it a little bit, keep going, and a powerful donut for Vendetta. Here's the original super glue. Glue to the action replay.
Solid run for Mike Christensen, but like I said, one of the best backflips maybe we've seen all season. Just absolute perfect rotation, slightly on the front wheels, hits the back wheel, and then finishes it off with a great donut. You can see the dirt here in Indianapolis just flinging off, very similar to what happened in two wheel skills with Bari, but just grabs that pod right at the end. Great truck awareness.
From Houston, Texas, this is two-time World Finals champion Colt Stevens piloting Thunderosaurus. Colt's got some experience here in Indianapolis on this track, knows a lot about tracks, walks them every time he's out. With Colt's thoughts on Indianapolis, we go to Leslie.
After walking the track at halftime, Colt Stevens told me that the ramps are just a little bit more laid down than they're used to on this tour. He says you're going to have to hit everything really, really hard. Although he did tell me that on the outside lanes, he goes where those car stacks are, he says he thinks you're going to be able to really hit that hard and get some good air.
Colt Stevens has never shied away from hitting a ramp as hard as he can and trying to get air off of every single thing he can find in front of him.
Yeah, and one of the most difficult things, that was a nice air right there on the backside. And that's a display of how difficult it is. You can see how far he went, almost all the way to those containers. When the lips are laid down like that, you need a lot more speed to be able to go farther. Colt Stevens just sending the truck right now.
Starting to build up a lot of steam here as he's just hitting everything with full force. Colt's had a remarkable climb this season, climbing from 10th in freestyle all the way up to 3rd when it comes to season average. But he is still looking for a win here in Indianapolis. Best freestyle finish on this track was 3rd. And there is your score to beat, still held by Tyler Menega, Gravedigger. Now we're going to get another backflip attempt. Morgan to Morgan backflip as Thunderosaurus comes in on the blue side. Gets nice rotation, bounces a little too much on the front. He's got a chance to save this though, and he doesn't even need to. The truck will carry him into the container. That'll be the end of his run. He still gets a save, and here's the original super glue to the action replay.
I want to watch really close right here. It looks like something happened and maybe the truck got shut off. You can see the big bounce off the front BKTs, and then he's going to get that rotation on the hood. Right here, normally he would throttle out. Looks like he's doing something with the steering wheel there, but he's going to grab the container and set it down.
Yeah, momentum carried him over too close to the containers. Anytime a truck touches the container, they are immediately shut off, and that is the end of the run. But a great save nonetheless for Colt Stevens. Here comes Armando Castro and El Toro Loco. He trails the overall event lead by 2, so he needs to take the freestyle lead right here and hang on to it if he wants to win the event championship.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity for Armando Castro. He's definitely been getting more and more momentum as the season has gone on. And that's what happens with the drivers like this that are newer to the stadiums. They just get more comfortable and it's more fun for them, and they're figuring out the truck, they're figuring out the suspension setup. There's so many different things, not only that, but the nerves as well.
We have seen a lot of drivers transition seamlessly from arenas into stadiums. Armando Castro, no different. He's got 3 overall event championship wins in 2025, which is second on the series. To be able to go from an arena series to a stadium and win that many overalls and compete night after night is a true testament to Armando's driving ability and his crew's ability to keep El Toro Loco pristine.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things with Monster Jam, nice little sky wheelie right there, is that not only do you have to have a good driver, but you have to have a good crew chief that knows what's going on and can keep the truck 100%. One of the cool things in 2025 that I've been looking at too is that El Toro Loco front end has definitely got a lot better vision. You can see it's a little bit skinnier, which is a big advantage for Armando.
Clip the pod, is able to make the save. He was just driving all the way through like a madman, clipped that back wheel on it, nearly went over, and was able to save it. And he sees right where he's at on the track, and he says, you know what, I'm not wasting any more time. I am going for the Morgan to Morgan backflip ramp. He is backing up. He's got the angle he wants, he's got the distance he wants, and he's got the push-off he wants. And he lands hard on that right rear, hits the container, and that'll do it for El Toro Loco.
Armando Castro, one wow moment from the next wow moment. Unbelievable run. Looks like he's not going to get the score I think he deserves, but great run so far. You can see him rotate right there. Comes up just a little bit short on that pod, and then the rotation on the backflip. You can see he just gets an unfortunate bounce off that right side, grabs a container, and that will end his run.
We are now going to check out our current freestyle leaderboard. As it stands now, Gravedigger has the lead, Thunder Roars in second, El Toro Loco third, Jurassic Attack in fourth, and Avenger in fifth. We are down to the final 4 trucks in Indy, and we crown our event champion next on Monster Jam Primetime. We are back with the conclusion of freestyle here at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. It's round 18. Moments ago, freestyle continued. Kevin Crocker rolls on the backflip attempt.
Yeah, under rotates just a little bit, lands on the hood.
Camden Murphy, Classroom Crusher, same result here.
Yeah, you can see the front end just pop up and loses some traction.
And then Joe Foley in Axe with a power issue, losing power right here in the freestyle run, so no score for him.
Yeah, Monster Jam trucks can be difficult. Unfortunately, tonight for Joe Foley, that was the case.
That brings us to our final competitor, Barry Musauer in Zombie, who loves the track here at Indianapolis. He loves every track. He is a kid in a candy store driving that 12,000-pound Zombie and leading Zombie Nation for an update. Let's go to Leslie.
Guys, Barry's just been a really cool customer this season. When I asked him about this heated points race and taking that big lead in Jacksonville, he said, you know, I just don't try to think about it. He goes, I've been able to have success this year by not worrying about the little things, not getting too high, not getting too low when things don't go my way. But he said the biggest thing was that he hasn't had any huge mechanical breakage yet. He said that's really kept him in this hunt. So he's sticking with his game plan that he's put together and hoping he can ride this out and just keep stretching his points out.
Thank you, Leslie. Looking strong so far is Barry Musauer. What a season he is having thus far. 5 freestyle wins, 6 event championship wins, first in freestyle average, all leading this series. I don't want to say it's been a coming out party for Barry, but it has certainly been the strongest showing of his very long tenured Monster Jam career.
Yeah, and Scott, I really do believe you're right on the track of what's going on with Barry, and it's been a culmination of everything, right? He has the same truck where he knows the truck very well, and then his experience is in allowing him to know what goes wrong with the truck in advance, maybe being able to change those parts sooner because he can feel those things. He's been driving a Monster Jam truck for so long, he knows exactly what part's doing what on the truck, and he can feel that just by sitting in the seat and grabbing the steering wheel. So that is a huge testament to his experience, to his crew chief, and everything going on behind the scenes.
Morgan backflip attempt here for Zombie. Comes in right away. What a quick backflip that was. No time to turn that bad boy around. He went off the ramp, landed almost immediately, and now he's going to hit the backside of the tabletop. Brake check, floater jump, and Zombie is still running.
Wow, Barry Musauer is just on right now. He's red hot. He has the momentum. There's a reason why he's your series points leader, and another huge air.
Trying to catch some points up here from Tyler Menega, Gravedigger. You don't want to give Tyler an inch in the point standings. Barry had a 26-point lead coming in to tonight's event. Donut here for Zombie.
Barry Musauer looks like he's trying to find that speed to get the rotation, and he does. Crowd definitely on their feet for Barry Musauer.
We saw him do it earlier tonight. His skills, he does it again in freestyle. The original super glue, glued to the action replay.
Little more speed coming into this backflip rotation. You can tell he stays slightly lower and a quicker rotation, but nonetheless gets it done up on 2 wheels. Great job so far for Barry. And then you can see another air here. Gonna land nice and smooth on all 4 BKTs, trying to take the pressure off of that truck. Another testament to not getting any of the breakage this season.
Here's our final freestyle leaderboard. Gravedigger gets the win. Thunder Roars in second. Zombie jumps into third. El Toro Loco in fourth. And Jurassic Attack finishes in the top 5. Now we can take a look at our final BKT overall event leaderboard. With 32 points, Tyler Menega, Gravedigger with a bounce-back win tonight. Zombie finishes in second, El Toro Loco in third, Jurassic Attack in fourth, Lucas Stabilizer in fifth. So Tyler wins his third freestyle and fourth event championship. Now let's go back to the track to join Tyler and Leslie Mears.
We can call this a little bit of a comeback after the devastation that you had there in Jacksonville. Fine form here tonight for Gravedigger, even though the truck tried to fight you, but you won tonight.
That's right. You know what? It's unfortunate. There's still problems going on with the rear steering, Gravedigger. I'm pretty sure we're just going to eliminate all of them and change everything tonight because we're on the points hunt now. Last week was what it is. It's unfortunate, but you know what? That's racing that happens. You know what? Tonight was awesome. Racing didn't go our way. Two-wheel didn't go our way. Freestyle was awesome. You know what? Matt's been putting a lot of work in on that truck the last couple weeks, and thank God we got an expert judge tonight.
Thank you, Leslie. Tyler Menega coming up clutch tonight. He's now made 5 starts at Lucas Oil Stadium, Adam, with the result being 5 overall event championship wins. I don't think any of them were as bigger or badly needed as tonight was. He needed tonight's win, and he got it a big way.
Yeah, tonight were crucial points for this championship. He gained 4 on Bari Musauer, but he's just red hot in this Lucas Oil Stadium, and sometimes you can't stop drivers. Tonight, that was Tyler Menninger.
We will stay right here with this series in Indianapolis for round 19 next week, so we hope you join us. For Adam Entignap and Leslie Mears, I'm Scott Jordan. Thanks for watching. We'll see you right here next time on Monster Jam Primetime.